Okay, today we're going to talk about a standalone sound generator, engine idle sound generator. Let's just figure out how to do this. Sitting back here, you can see the speaker there. Indicator in the back ties to that there's power or battery connected. All right, so the front circuit board here is a Henlong 130 scale receiver board. It uses this transmitter right here with my modification speed set. And but I wanted sound. This circuit board, actually, the sound chip is dead in it, and it's one I use for testing motors and such. And I decided to put it in this, upgrade this tank to a proportional speed control type tank, where this circuit board with this was actually running the whole tank before, and I just eliminate all the wiring and everything for the motor drive, and the only thing it's doing now is driving that speaker when it gets power from this connection right here, which is supplied by this board when you connect a battery to it. So this is a portable, very small sound generator. There's a penny with respect to how big that is. It's pretty small. It's speaker is a little bit bigger than that penny right there, so it's pretty small. And speed control or sound generators are very expensive. I just paid $95 for one, and I was very disappointed in it. I have several of these models from years ago that didn't have proportional speed. They work real good and everything, but I like proportional speed in my models now. But they'd have a sound generator in it. If you just take everything, all the wires off, and just use it as a sound generator, hey, you're ahead of the game. So anyways, that's what we're doing today. And we're gonna hook a battery up to it here. Okay, so now it's generating its sound, the engine sound. We have an indication now from the LED that there is power. Power is connected. It's always a good idea to have a LiPo, a LED visible on any model that has a LiPo connected. Because if you forget about it, it kills the LiPo if it over discharges. We'll turn on the transmitter now and run the track, or the sprockets. Okay, so now we're ready. We're used to the speed set, just turn on a low speed there. And we got sound. An engine sound. Which makes it much more interesting to me than just a silent tank that sits there. Now, it doesn't increase speed or anything like that with the revolutions of the tracks. I haven't figured that part out yet. And it may not even be possible because of the way they do a serial chain here, where the sound it's a serial system, which is very hard to interface to. But it does work for what I need right now. And it times out after about 2 to 3 minutes. I'm not sure the exact time, but if you just leave it sit here, it'll time out. The generator will shut off. LED stays on, which indicates there's still power. So if you have to pick up the phone and you forget about it and it shuts off, and then later you see the LED still on, I always I point this part towards me. You can see a little glow in front of you can see that glow. You can see that if that's pointing towards you, you can see that LED. It's pointing down. It'll reflect off anything it's sitting on. So I just put the tank towards me like this. When I walk away from it, if it's still running and I answer a phone and come back, I could later I'll say, oh man, that thing is still on because the LED's on. So where's the LED? Anyways, this tank was pretty good. This is the one that has the micro servos. I use servo, regular servos and modified servos to drive these tracks, to drive the sprockets. Now they're proportional. Yeah, way better now. See, that thing just timed out. So the sound timed out because I didn't, there's no. So what I'm going to do, the next phase of this is to tie it into the circuit board where I can just, say, hit a button on this transmitter and that will turn it off and then back on again. And it'll keep running. So, like, that's what it would do. It would disconnect power and keep it running again. So it's still in the work. It's still working here. I have to interface to this now to be able to cycle it every now and then to keep it running. So that's where I'm at with this project. More later when I get further down the modification trail here to get this working exactly the way I want it. Okay, talk to you later.